Hey everyone, I'll just get to the data set right now and discuss about the online policing of big data, the patent application which was filed this year, taking into account the current scheme of things and the scenario which I have been seeing all over these years, because coming online very early in my life in terms of on this communication network, I realized that being in the framework, what was wrong, what was happening. I started my career drafting patent applications for semantics, that is basically into backup technologies. Got first-hand experience of understanding modules, submodules, and everything. So there are three key points which I wish to discuss. First is the father of AI, who is John McCarthy. I wish to discuss Charles Babbage, and I wish to discuss the online gaming industry, or the online way of consuming data. I have been very vocal about the thought process that Homo sapiens sapien can be of two types, two CCs. One is content creator, another is content consumer. Now what happens is, because of the orchestration in the online world and offline world, many Homo sapiens sapiens are not able to realize the fact that what they are seeing and observing is a creation of certain actors in the online and the offline world. Having said that, when we talk about internet as a communication, we are talking about Web 2.0, Web 3.0. Honestly speaking, the patenting landscape, if you look into it, I believe till Web 18 that has been written. Having said that, what is important is we need to understand the importance of data first, because we are on the timeline of 2023 where it is data driven decisions. And one of my presentations which I presented before NUS, that's in Singapore, and where we discuss the pain points, and that I am seeing today as a reality, and I feel good about it, that at least the algorithms which we have developed, the ML stuff, with the best of the minds, that's working to take care into account that the online policing of big data is very important, and data is the key. See, we need to understand one fact. If you look into the current landscape of data, whether the data is coming from India or any other country for that matter, the first data which is coming in, which is input, is the raw data. And let me tell you, there is no streamlining of that in the country. Because of that, the raw data fed to any of these engines is wrong data. Wrong data means not the right parameter, or the parameter is being rigged. Since the rigging is happening at the first instance, so any kind of algorithm, if you deploy it to execute a scenario, you are not going to get the results. And that's a very big pain point. We need to do human sensitization of the operators who are feeding in the data, and the data has to be real. The other day I got a message on the WhatsApp platform that you have to give Google review, and if you give Google review 5, you will get INR fiat currency 1000 blah blah blah. And honestly speaking, again, this is a wrong data set. First thing, the customer is not going there, and the customer is not going through the process of seeing the product or the service, blah 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 blah. Then how can even the data set can be correct? So the point I'm trying to say, even Google is not right, because the Google fed data is not the right data. I'll give you a very simple example. I have been trying to geo fence the place I work from, the home address, but when I do the geo fencing, it is taking into account probably I would say 300 meters from the actual location. So if you are looking into the the data sets, you will see, even because after I wrote the patent application for geofencing, I know how I have written it and how it is being bifurcated. So even a plot or a block which is part of the I would say RERA is real estate stuff, right? If you look into the data set of the document which you are signing, you cannot subdivide the plot into multiple squares and then say that this house has certain blocks. So that has been bifurcated. First thing, this is infringement of data of the people who are owning the land. So if any platform, whether it's Google or any other mapping platforms for that matter, first thing, if somebody says you have taken the permission from the user, Okay, I understand that, but as a lawyer, from the mindset of an internet entrepreneur lawyer, my question is, are they paying any kind of royalty to the people whose data has been utilized to create any kind of worse in the online world? That's a question the government needs to answer. The bill is already, placed, and the discussion is happening. So I am of the viewpoint, what is the user getting? What, like when we say India has a population of 1.4 billion people, I'm presuming, and this is a raw data set again, I'm presuming at least certain number of people actually own the land, and that ownership is documented in a documentation which goes to the registry, and the signatures happened. So what are they getting in lieu of this online world which is being created, the verses which are being created? And that is the reason when we're talking about the gaming industry, and that point, I had pointed out very early, that anything which gains your attention in the online world, it takes you to a, it's kind of a rabbit hole. So any human who is getting into that rabbit hole, that rabbit hole needs different blocks, because AI can make it out that whether the decision the person is making is based on I would say what factors, what parameters. So those parameters are part of our application. Then there's personalization, R&D, artificial intelligence, machine learning, which is used to see the data pattern, learn patterns, make prediction, and automate tasks. Data is prime. It has to be taken the right data. Say for example, in India it's always first name and last name, but if you go to other countries you will see first name and family name. I believe from a very layman point of view, first name and family name is a better data set than saying first name and last name. What is last name? I don't understand. Family name, I understand. It denotes the family clan. That is point number one. So that kind of parameter needs to be taken into consideration. Then I would like to talk about John McCarthy, who was born on 4th day of September 1927, and he was an American computer scientist, and he was the founding father of artificial intelligence. Today I had to work on a different project, and suddenly I see an article stating some person saying that he's the father of artificial intelligence. Sorry, but according to the WIPO documents, according to the original knowledge which we have, let's keep father of artificial intelligence as John McCarthy. Let's not compete with the father of anything and everything, because then things become a little tough. Now, since I digged in a little bit more about John McCarthy, so he basically created the programming language Lisp. Lisp is basically in the late 50s it came into picture. It was designed to support the symbolic processing and list manipulation, making it well suited for the AI task. Then there was a conference which was held. Then there's symbolic AI and logic, and logic reasoning, blah 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 blah. Then there is a time sharing system. Again, multiple users simultaneously access a computer. We understand what is internet and intranet is all about. Then contribution, if I talk about his contribution, obviously there are many subfields of AI, which includes natural language processing, robotics, knowledge representation, expert systems. Let's talk about the symbolic processing, the notation, the dynamic typing, blah 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 blah, garage collection, automatic memory management. With garage collection, it automatically frees up memory that is no longer in use, reducing the burden on programmers to manage the memory manually, which is very important. Then there's a concept of code as data and data as code. So it helps to manipulate and generate other Lisp program dynamically. Then I just want to talk a little bit about Charles Babbage. He's father of computer, so that's a very good thing. So basically he came up with the idea of difference engine, mechanical calculator, the biggest computer of that time. It was I can't even say it is an apparatus, because apparatus is something it's different in the patenting world. Thank you for watching out this video. Have a great day ahead.